Good day, fellows and fellow ladies. I don't know where that came from. Welcome to another episode of one of our favorite things to do during the week, 18 to 49. You are joined by your fantastically alert co-hosts, Brandy and Alea.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Uh-oh. I feel like you should do your Jay-Z scream again, like you just did a few minutes ago.
I don't remember what it was. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think we get credit for being awake after talking to each other for like 2 hours yesterday.
So, friends, we were invited to be on a podcast together. You know what? Weren't we on another podcast? I feel like we did something else together.
Maybe
too.
he knows something that we didn't know because he asked us if this was our first or second, and we both said first.
Yeah,
we weren't on another show together.
No, maybe I did something else. Okay, I feel like we did something before, but maybe I'm thinking of a
If
dream.
you've listened to all 40 some odd episodes of our show, please tell us if we were guests somewhere else.
I don't remember us being guests on anything else, but maybe it was in a dream. I thought we were guests. Anyway, sorry. Everything's running together. Yeah, we were totally on a show for a good solid, was it about 2 hours?
Yes, he said he stopped the mark just at 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. So we were on a show for 2 hours. It was fun, though. The doctor, so he listens to the show. How funny was it? I meant to tell this story. Do you remember that time he sent in a note and I mispronounced the name of the show like so bad?
Oh, it was really bad.
I was like, so this is from the guy from Dr. Abracase A5.
I had no idea what show you were talking about then.
I butchered it.
I was like, what show is this?
I butchered it. But anyway, we were on the Dr. Abrasive podcast. It was fun. We talked about all kind of stuff. This show, pop news things. He did some other stuff.
We talked about like every subject in life.
Yeah, we talked about news things. We talked about TV shows. We talked about movies. We talked about how we thought about different things. And then we had a funny story at the end about a young lady whose name was almost Prudence.
We'll link to it on our website, 18to49podcast.com.
All new, redesigned. Thanks to our webmaster, Alea Williams.
Don't point that out because it's not perfect.
It's okay.
It's just better than it was before.
You never have perfection, just a work in progress. And it's an advancement. It's a second iteration of success. Mm-hmm. Very proud of it. Looks great.
It will continue to improve.
Looks fabulous.
Oh, God. I feel like we need to name a Shiro of the week up top. And you know what? Now I'm feeling conflicted. Mm-hmm. Because I almost feel like the spur of the moment in my heart was telling me that Nikki from the Dr. Abrasive show should be our Shiro of the week. She was just so hilarious. So I'm going to say honorable mention to Nikki. Mm-hmm. Hilarious. Yes, guys, the Dr. Abrasive show, we had a lot to say, so it was long. But on the second half, Nikki rolls through, and it's hilarious.
Seriously.
But I think our original Shiro of the week is Little Black Nutella Girl.
Little Black Nutella Girl.
Well, I'm sure there's like a white girl on YouTube somewhere eating Nutella. Everybody loves Nutella. But I just want to make sure everybody knows which little girl I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Because she's so
stinking cute.
So cute. It's going on our Facebook page. It's so cute it may go on our website.
I think it should go on the website.
Depends. Yeah.
It should go on the website. You know, everybody does not like Nutella.
I don't like Nutella.
I learned that the hard way.
I don't like chocolate or hazelnuts. So, but she's really cute when she eats it.
Yeah, she's hiding in the closet. I feel like her mother is like British.
Yeah, I think they're British.
She's hiding in the closet. Her mom's looking for her, calling her name. And her mother approaches because, of course, parents always have their iPhones ready to record.
Oh, jeez.
Looking for her. Crazy. And she's sitting inside this little cabinet eating Nutella. She's like, what are you doing? Are you eating this Nutella? She doesn't even answer. And then she utters some words. I don't know what she's saying, though.
Her mom's like, did you open it? Who opened it? She's like, And she's like, you opened it? You know, like parents, they speak their kids' language. Or she could just be in a chocolate haze. I don't know.
She probably is. She's been eating a lot of. She ate a lot of it.
She ate like the whole jar.
She had a big old spoon too. That was a huge spoon for her little face. Nutella all on her face. So cute.
She's so cute. Like if I could make a GIF, whatever. I'll never learn how to pronounce it right. If I could make one of those my profile photo, I would make that my photo, even though I don't eat Nutella. Like, she's that cute.
Why don't you just make it your profile photo?
Because I like it with the animation. That won't work.
You want to animate a GIF?
Yeah, like with her little smile.
Yeah.
With a little smile, or the one where she like sticks her tongue out. Like, yeah, none of it's going to waste. She's just the cutest.
I'll figure out how to make that for you.
Oh my God. I'm looking at it now. She's so, like, if you're childless, she's the kind of kid you're like, God, please, I hope my child is that cute. Otherwise, what's the point?
What is the point if my child is not in a cabinet somewhere eating Nutella?
Next to a George Foreman grill and some onions. She's so cute.
Why the onion next to the George Foreman grill?
I don't know. It's it's in some sort of basket. She's in the pantry.
That's strange placement.
I do appreciate how spacious and roomy and organized their pantry is.
It was very clean.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the woman cleaned it before she went and approached the child with a camera. Like,
who knows?
If she just said, "Hey, little girl, keep eating this Nutella. Let me clean this up for a second, then
and let me pretend that I just found you."
Yeah, let me reenact this.
She probably knew what her daughter was doing, and then she turned on the camera, because it's like, who walks around with the video rolling looking for somebody? She probably saw her little feet sticking out of the cabinet and was like, uh-oh, this is going to be YouTube gold. My child is beautiful. And she was right.
This is going to get all the views. Ellen, here we come.
But, I mean, she's just the cutest.
Isn't that the aspiration now for any parent that has a child? Let me capture my child doing something so that I can possibly get them on Ellen.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ellen has all the children on her show.
She does.
Ellen's like, what? This kid is cute? On my show. Give it a segment. Noah Ritter on my show.
Yep.
Little dancing girls on my show. Those Nicki Minaj girls on my show. You remember that? All the kids go to Ellen.
What was the last little black boy she had? Like, I feel like he was either a genius or...
Is that the one who has the bow ties and he's fancier than everyone else?
Yeah, I don't know if it was him or if I'm thinking of the little boy who... Wasn't someone asking their mom not to have more children?
Oh, that little boy was on?
Yeah.
The one that was exasperated?
Yes.
This is exasperating. You already got 2 kids. He was so upset.
He was.
He was like, why do you need more? This is exasperating. He was so upset.
Him.
He was
I think there was a little boy with a bow tie, but I don't remember who that was. Anyway.
Remember that little boy? He has he's like the little kid that dresses better than you. He's like this little style icon. He has a little bow tie.
I try to block them out of my brain.
You remember him? And he has a little rolled up pants.
It's like, why bother when I get out of bed every day?
Yeah.
Like, why?
That kid's going to be on Master Chef Junior.
I'm sure. I love that show.
He has a little portfolio that he carries around. Not a portfolio, but a little satchel. He's like the cutest kid ever. I can't think of his name. He's a little lemonade stand. What's his name? It's like this little entrepreneur. Or maybe it's like not lemonade. Maybe it's like some sort of baked goods. Anyway, it's really smart, really cute. Looks better than all of us put together. That little boy. Freaking kids, man.
She does.
So freaking fancy.
Oh, anyway. She's our Shiro of the week. Little unnamed Nutella girl.
Little cute Nutella baby genius. In the closet. Keep it in the closet. It reminds me of the Michael Jackson song. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll make a little video for you and it'll have keep it in the closet. Do, 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 do. And then a little girl's eating Nutella with Michael Jackson singing over her. That'll be a good addition. All right, so that's what happened. Shiro of the week. Congratulations, little girl. Maybe you'll listen to this show. Maybe you shouldn't. Did you watch some TV?
I watched 2 new shows. I'm still doing my holiday movie marathon.
Where are you now?
Wait, you know what? I lied. I watched 3 shows.
Okay.
The first one was SVU.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to talk for very long about that. Sometimes I get sad when people say that SVU isn't what it was. Like, it's kind of true. But a lot of people think it hasn't been, in top form since Maloney left. But, like...
Agreed.
I don't think it's been in top form, but I still think there are like some great episodes with like Amaro and like the new folks. It didn't go like totally in the trash, but I will say this season is like rough for me. Like, where did Brian go all of a sudden? I don't think Olivia and Brian broke up. And then I checked Wikipedia and there was no mention of them like breaking up. So he just...
Wikipedia though.
Because my friend and I were talking about this, the friend I know that keeps up with the show. Mm-hmm. I'm like, did they break up? Because she got this baby and suddenly Brian was just not around. He was like Billy Bob Thornton when Angelina adopted that kid from Cambodia.
What's his name?
In real life. No, Maddox.
Maddox. That's it.
you know, she was still technically with Billy Bob and they were starting that process together. But the minute she got a kid, bye, Billy Bob. Bye, boyfriend. And so I'm like, where is Brian? Like, they were in this committed relationship. He used to be all up in her house. And now suddenly he's not so much. And then like Nick was babysitting the baby a couple times. So I'm just like, okay, is Brian undercover? Like, no one has said a thing about Brian. There was a show called What About Brian? It had that guy, Barry Watson from Seventh Heaven. Didn't last long. Anyway, sidebar. And yeah, so Brian's gone. Nick has been gone a lot, but he's still listed as a star. He's almost like, I feel like he should be almost starring now. He was completely not in the last episode. He's been in the season very little this year. And I hate to say it, I don't know if I've said it on this show yet, but I'm not loving Benson as a mom. Like, there's just something awkward about it and just not very good. She's kind of boring with it. So I'm not loving like the mom storyline. So the episode this week was very like typical woman with a challenging job and motherhood, you know, so that she was getting called to the mat by the foster care system.
Again?
Yes, for like having this demanding job. And the kid had these broken bones that were healing or something. And she's like, he had those problems before. And they're like, yeah, but you're not around. And she's like, I'm the one.
I feel like I saw that already. Are they doing the storyline again? Or
you know what? It's playing out later. So it's the kind of thing where the foster care woman or the doctor, she took the baby to the doctor because the doctor wasn't feeling well. They found this and called like social services. And now was like the court date for it. Okay. So we're kind of getting like the repeat of the story. And they're like, oh my God, this is from like, you guys didn't do a thorough check before when this kid was bounced from home to home. Like, this is the only good home this kid has had. And what's driving me crazy is like, they're talking about her like not being present. And I mean, this is all intentional. They wrote this, but she's like sitting there holding the baby in court while they're talking about her not being present and having this demanding job and being a single mom. And she's like checking her watch to see what time it is because she has to get to like a crime scene or something. And I'm like, in real life, hopefully somebody smart would just pretend. Like, you don't actually like pick your hand up and look at your watch. You like keep it down low in your lap. You're real smooth with it. You like tap your iPhone just to see what time it is. But you're not like in front of the judge and the woman on the stand who's against you. You don't like look at your watch to see how much time this is taking because you've got to go. Like, the whole thing just didn't work for me.
You like speed it up.
Yeah. Like, the whole thing, it didn't seem very like Benson-y. So anyway, I still watch SVU. I started watching a marathon yesterday and I was like, oh, the good old days.
Was that USA?
Of course.
Yeah, the best ones.
Of course.
USA.
They've been playing a lot of NCIS lately and it's been very upsetting.
Ugh.
Like,
why do they do that?
I don't know. Like, I've forgotten to look for SVU because every time I turn it on, they had NCIS and I would just stop trying. And I was out with some people the other night. I went to this improv show called The Black Version, and we totally need to have people from The Black Version on this show. But we were out talking about everything, Michael Jackson, life, and...
What? We were out talking about everything, Michael Jackson, life. Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Okay. Yeah. Then there was some guy who like works in a juvenile facility. He's like a corrections officer in a juvenile facility, but he's like the happiest guy. I'm like, I don't know how you can smile and have that job. So we're talking about like all kinds of things. And I guess this guy used to be in the military. So one of the comedians, Jordan Black, was like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Did you watch JAG? And he's like, every military person watches JAG. There is not a person in the military who has not watched JAG. And I've heard that, too, that like if you were ever in the military when like JAG was on, you watched JAG. And then that got me and like Jordan's friend and some other people at the other end of the table like talking about NCIS. And we were all just like, that show is not good.
Yeah.
And it was just upsetting. And so anyway, there was finally an SVU marathon on yesterday. So I flipped that on. But I think it's funny because when they show it all day long, they don't call it a marathon. But if they show it on Sunday, they do. I'm like, what is the difference between you showing it on Sunday for 8 hours than on like Friday for 12? I don't understand. But USA is weird about some things. So yeah, watch that. Grace Point had its finale. I did not realize when I talked about this last week and begged people to watch along with us or me, because you don't watch.
No.
I didn't realize that was the last episode that night. So our friend Abe watched and we like rehashed everything the next day. So I'm glad I had Abe. Shout out to Abe. You're worried about my safety.
Yeah, I was. You really wanted someone there with you.
And we kind of felt the same way about it. I'm not going to talk about the ending because I'm not a spoilery person. And since it is the very end, I think For the most part, there was definitely some surprise for me with how it ended. Some stuff I kind of expected, but I was surprised at how it unfolded. I will say that. And I was pleased. I really do think more people should have given it a chance, but I also think Fox stabbed itself in the foot by trying to put a new show that they wanted to get attention on at the same time as Scandal. And not saying that everyone likes Scandal. There are definitely some people that don't, but I think of like active TV watchers, they're mostly watching Scandal because a lot of people like Parenthood too, but it's not in the same numbers as Scandal. So I think putting that show on a Thursday at 9 was just a bad idea, but I really liked it. And I don't know if there'll be a season 2 right now. It doesn't look like it, especially because of ratings, but I suggest if anyone, if your holiday show is down for the count on hiatus, winter break, winter finale, whatever, give Grace Point a shot. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I thought I saw it wasn't coming back.
Yeah, I haven't heard. You could have seen something I didn't see. They set it up as a miniseries, so they didn't set it up to have a second season. But the BBC show that it's based off of is getting a second season. So technically, there would be more to the story if they wanted to follow like the BBC's path. But I don't know if they are. And even if they wanted to, I don't know if the ratings were good enough for them to want to produce another season of it. But I definitely loved it. And it would take a while because the male detective in Grace Point, he played the exact same role in the BBC version. So he'd have to go shoot the BBC version first before shooting this. So like, who knows when we'd even get
another one,
the second season. Yeah. So I don't know. I enjoyed it. I'm a little bummed that it's over, especially because there is nothing on Thursday nights right now.
Well, and you don't like Scandal anyway.
No, but I liked it more than How to Get Away with Murder until the winter finale of How to Get Away with Murder.
Right, which made it all the worth the watching.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be real depressed when like Parenthood comes back and ends, and then there's really nothing for me on Thursday nights.
Yeah, you have to take up a hobby. I've suggested knitting to a lot of people. Really, the only reason I'm suggesting that people take up knitting is because I'd like a new infinity scarf. And my hopes are that the people who take up knitting would knit me an infinity scarf. That's all.
I'll take a regular one.
Yeah, well, the one I have I really love, so I'd like another. And maybe a hat. I could go for a hat as well. So that's why I've been suggesting knitting to most people for a new hobby. I wonder if Fox is going to start. So I think maybe they'll start putting all their attention on this Empire show and maybe not so much worry about this Grace Point business. Not that they shouldn't, but I think that's going to get all their attention now.
And we'll see if that's any good.
Right. January something. January 7th or something, maybe. Why am I throwing that out? I don't know. I feel like
something after New Year's.
Yeah, I feel like it's just the first week in January, full week. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let's talk about what else did you watch that I didn't watch?
Nothing. The only other show I watched was The Affair.
Bam, go for it. That's what I'm waiting on.
But you said that you didn't watch.
What?
I'm like, I know you watched The Affair.
Okay, yeah. So I was just waiting for see if you had anything else that I did not watch that you wanted to talk about.
This is such a good show. It's such a good show. And I tried to watch last week's episode, but after doing the Dr. Abrasive show, you can blame Dr. Abrasive. I was too tired to watch The Affair again, and I fell asleep. But at least I watched it straight through once. But it was good, and there were so many things that's why I wanted to watch it again, because there's so many details to talk about.
Many freaking things on that last episode.
Pause. If you are not watching the show, you need to watch the show. Whether you need to come to my house, because I have it on demand. I don't know what you need to do, but you need to get your life right and watch this show.
Or you need to email me secretly. And then I can call you on the phone and I can tell you how you can watch the show. Then you need to do that. You need to email the 18 to 49 Gmail account. Yeah. And we can help you because you should watch the show.
Yeah. And we'll never tell you that again.
Probably not.
No.
I probably will never say that again.
Don't.
I don't even think that I have thought this about a show. No, I don't think I've thought those sentiments about a show in a while.
Yeah.
A while. This show takes the cake. This show took the freaking cake. I didn't think they could take us anywhere else. Let me tell you.
I did not. They took us so many places in this. Ugh. You know, they creeped on you because they took it slow. But as we've been saying all season long, like it's slow but good. And then they might like throw like not a punch, but like a little slap And then they just keep going on their way. And then this episode, they just started throwing punches, like
full-on punches.
Oh my God. Like, this is why I wanted to watch it again, because there was detail after detail after. Oh my God. It just.
So let's start with the stories.
Allison.
We'll start with Allison's story.
She goes into the city to meet Noah. So clearly they've been in contact. And the first thing I loved is when they're walking down the street and they like can't find a hotel because it's the holidays and there's like a hotel suite for $1,200. And that's very clear in my mind because I did watch that again. Mm-hmm. And then they end up outside of Noah's house. And she's like,
she doesn't know it's his house though. Yeah.
She's like, wait, is this your house? And
he's like, yeah, boo.
He's like, but my wife is gone. She'll be back tonight. And that's always a bad thing. Like, and I'm fully expecting them to come back early because that's always what happens on TV. But the affair doesn't give us what everyone always gives us. So she's like, yeah, they'll be back tonight. And she's like, I'll make you a cup of coffee. Really? That's what you're going to do?
And that's never how it happens.
You were just saying you didn't want to go to a museum. So now she's going to come in your house, make a cup of coffee. And he's like, come on, I'm not going to F you in my wife's bed. Cut to
effing in the wife's bed. Bruh.
And he's saying, I love you. And she's like, say it again. And they're like doing it. Then they do it again. And he's like, oh my God, I'm 45.
Oh my God, I'm 45. Like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe I didn't have to take my Cialis.
And then she like takes a shower. Like they're getting bold. I would not.
And
I mean, first of all, I wouldn't be in this situation, but I wouldn't like have sex with you in your wife's bed and then go take a shower and use your towels.
What does she do in the shower though, bruh? She takes the wife's most expensive shampoo.
Which somehow the price tag is still on the bottom.
Yeah, and then it's in this fancy bottle that looks like a teardrop or some sort of dagger, some teardrop dagger. It looks very fancy. She takes it, and instead of using it on her hair, she sniffs it and then starts pouring it down the drain. It's like, boo, what's the meaning? What's the meaning? Just slapping the wife in the face. Just slapping him. Sorry. Anyway. Mm-hmm. I couldn't believe it. I was like, she should be ashamed of herself. Comes out of the shower, goes up into people's houses, right? Starts sniffing olive oil and things in the kitchen, breaks something.
Breaks it.
And then tries to discreetly hide it in the trash. Meanwhile, what does she find in the trash?
Pregnancy test.
Bum, bum, bum.
Positive pregnancy test.
Positive pregnancy test. But here's my thing. Who just hides
in the kitchen,
in the main kitchen trash can, able to be sifted through to find a pregnancy test?
And clearly easily.
Very easy. It's sitting at the very top, resting on the top of the trash as if like some sort of treasure that wants to be found. And who do you think
takes out the trash? I'm sure in that house it's the mom. So I don't know. Anyway.
But the pregnancy test she finds, of course.
And then her whole mood changes.
Whole mood changes. She's like, I'm over this whole thing. I'm out of here. I'm leaving.
But then he snatches her. And I mean, we're getting into like literally a blow by blow replay right here, which we should not do. But like the big thing is in her version at the end of this, he takes her to this little crash pad that he's like, this is going to be my studio and you can visit me when you're in town. And then when she looks at it, it's like a box. It's smaller than my apartment. And the guy wants like a 2-year lease. And she's like, what?
Right.
And she's realizing that he basically wants her to be there. And she's like, you basically want your mistress to move in here so you can screw her whenever you want. Like, this is not a place where we could legitimately
have a life. Not even close to
it's only temporary. I'm going to ruin my kid's life. And then at that point, she's like, F you, I'm gone.
Well, but he says after, what's her face that we don't like?
The daughter, Whitney.
After Whitney goes off to school, which was in 9 months, then 9 months, then we can be together or something or other along those lines. But I'm not just going to leave my kids. Then she leaves, goes back to her place, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then the whole thing starts to dissolve.
Yeah. Well, at that point, I still think that at this point, she thinks it's, anyway, we're like getting way too detailed into this if people are ever going to watch it. But she goes home and like all kinds of stuff goes down. Like,
oh, we forgot the biggest piece.
This is what upset me most in this whole damn thing. Like, we could stop talking about it after this because that just takes the cake. I was so upset and did not need to see what happened. Mm-hmm. She goes to the bar.
Ugh, that's what I thought you were going to do.
And is just so pissed with like her crummy life and her lover who doesn't want to leave her until the daughter is off to college. That girl's not getting into college. I mean, maybe she does good in school, but to me, she doesn't seem like the type who would. Anyway. And Oscar's straight like, oh, did your lover break your heart?
And why is he in the bar, though? He's always lurking.
He's always, because he has nobody. He has nothing. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I was on Twitter later and people were like, or no, it was on Facebook, the Affair Facebook page. People were like, I kind of like Oscar now. And it's like, why?
Why? What has he done?
He has done nothing different. He's
slimy. You don't like
just
him.
Because someone does one thing nice, like people are like, oh, no, he's still an asshole.
He is a slimester.
She, is drunk and just feeling feisty. So she's like, he's trying to be all nice and ask her all these questions in his slimy way. Mm-hmm. And she's like, do you want to screw me? Do you? Is that what you want to do?
Is that what you want?
And then she like unzips his pants.
Let me rub your Johnson at the bar. Is that what you want? You want me to rub it at the bar?
And then he's like, check, please. And they go back to his house and we see it for a second. And I'm like, I don't want to watch them. I don't want to. Oscar, no. But you know what's funny to me that I was thinking as I was watching this episode twice? Mm-hmm. They are doing such a great job that you don't even notice on a show about an affair that you really don't get a lot of what Showtime and HBO give you in terms of like nudity or whatever. Like aside from saying the F word, they could play this show on another network. Like for a while, CBS was playing Dexter episodes and just bleeping out like the bad words they couldn't say because I think CBS owns Showtime or something like that. Mm-hmm. I feel like aside from us seeing like a dude's butt and I think maybe a nipple once, like this show could actually get played on a network.
They have to cut out the sex scenes,
they wanted to. Really? Mm-hmm. I don't feel like we've seen much though.
Yeah, but they probably wouldn't want to show. Some of them are a little graphic.
I guess.
They're not a ton. I mean, it's not that bad, but
they could shorten them.
Yeah, they probably would just cut out some of the dialogue because most of the dialogue in those times aren't needed. There's not really any dialogue whatsoever. So you can totally do it.
So anyway, this is all going on. And then Oscar gives her some bad news that like basically the mother-in-law is shady, which we kind of suspected. But what gets me is when the mother-in-law, oh my God, that scene was awful.
Horrible. Mama Lockhart is demonic.
She's awful. She basically, she's been lying about the family's financial situation. And when Allison confronts her about it, because not only does it affect the family, like it affects her plans, which why she would tell Oscar or anyone her plans, I don't know. But the mom is like, oh, this is how you repay me? Basically, when you let your son die and I like saved your life. And she just like tears into her, but in the most calm, even toned way. And just like rips this woman to shreds about her child that's died. I don't think I would have just stood there and stared at her like that.
No, I'm surprised she didn't slap her to pieces.
Yeah,
or
like
run out of the house
at least a slap, something.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. And then ultimately, Allison decides to like flee, but her husband is like, "Oh my God, you're right. My mother was lying. Let's leave this town and go anywhere in the world."
Right.
And
she's totally not interested in going anywhere with him.
Yeah. And since this is not the Affair podcast, because it's not, and we talk in way too much detail about these things.
That's okay. This is good. This is good. People need this so they can watch this show.
But if we give them too many details, they'll know what's happening. But anyway.
They won't remember that.
They flip to Noah's side. And ultimately the highlights are he tells his friend, well, first there was a suicide. That was
crazy. Who was that?
Some dude just jumped off a building. And it's television. It's symbolism for something. Oh, I think Allison tries to kill herself too. There's that.
Cutting.
I forgot about that tiny moment.
She's cutting.
Yeah. Well, but then she went in the ocean.
Yeah, but I think she was just swimming.
She doesn't know how to swim.
I know. Then she sees a small child and the mother say, "Come out of the water." And
yeah, like oh, you're gonna get. They're like, I'm thinking of them like, she's trying to kill herself. She's fully dressed, but the mom's like, "Come on, you'll get a cold," or like whatever.
But it was a figment of her imagination though, because those are the people she bumped into in the city.
Yeah, in the city. So anyway, Noah sees someone jump off a building, which I guess happens in New York. I don't know. And he tries to tell his friend like, "I'm leaving my wife. I love Allison." And I love how his friend was like, "You've got to think like, an investor. You don't take your money out of a mutual fund and put it in a sexy startup or like something like that."
That's exactly what he said.
Which I think it's
really genius.
Which is like, that is not why you stay with someone. You stay with someone because you love them and, all these reasons and things. But in that sense, I did like his logic, because as we see these things unfold, it's like leaving wrecks your life in such a way that whatever happened, it was not worth it, and you often regret it. But the reason to stay is not because it's going to cost you to leave. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that. It should be because of like honor and love and respect.
Yeah, but that was Helen's logic when she got with him, right? So her logic when she got with him was not based upon I love you to pieces. It was you were the quiet one, you were safe. I could have had anyone I wanted, like all these things.
True.
So the relationship
I guess he knows that now.
Yeah, the relationship was founded off of shifty logic in the first place and not based upon your love story.
Yeah. So the friend who is kind of attractive, actually.
That's the guy from Parenthood. Do you remember? Your girl dated him.
Which girl, though?
Lauren Graham dated Lauren Graham dated him. He was the guy in the apartment who was the he was Doctors Without Borders guy.
Yeah.
That's how I thought you knew that.
I knew I had seen a sexy face somewhere before. I just couldn't remember what show.
Yeah.
So then Noah like goes home and his wife is all doo-doo-doo. And that's when they realize that it's not the wife that's pregnant, and the wife is upset about her shampoo. She's like, have you been using my shampoo?
Right.
Because
I'm out.
Because
if you have, it's okay. If you have dandruff scalp, but it's very expensive.
Yeah, and she's like, you don't have that much hair. Like, don't be a douche. And I'm like, really? The shampoo? And it's just like this snippet of like married life and the things that like people pick at each other about. It's like shampoo.
But she did pour a big gob of it down the drain, though. I would have noticed.
I would have noticed, too. But I just think the way she says things is so, like...
Well, that's from her dad and her mom.
Yeah.
Their whole upbringing.
So, in this version, he finds the pregnancy test in the trash. And I think that's one of the huge differences between the two stories. Because in Allison's version, she finds it and puts it back in the trash.
But then he could have came after her and found it too, and then put it in the back pocket.
But in this version, she finds it after the shower, after she's cleaned up. In his version, he finds it while she's in the shower, and he sticks it in his back pocket.
Right.
He put the other thing is when he's washing the sheets and the towels and everything, he has accidentally washed her sweater.
Mm-hmm.
So she has to wear his wife's shirt. Why she chooses a nice one, I don't know.
The nicest sweater. That probably was her favorite sweater. Or
like, why would you not choose the shirt with a hole in it that she buries at the bottom that she won't actually notice? But anyway.
Because she's slapping in the face with the shampoo and everything else. But then in her version, she's wearing her own sweater.
Yeah, in her version, she's wearing her own sweater, and it happens after the shower. In his version, he finds it, takes it out of the trash. She comes out of the shower in a towel, and she's like, where's my shirt?
Mm-hmm.
And I knew something was going to go wrong when he was cleaning up the room and, like, moving her underwear aside.
And the bra.
Right, that's what I mean, like, the situation there. And, you know, skipping, they find out that his daughter is the one that's pregnant. They go through this whole thing.
Smitney.
She gets very, I'm so mature, I'm going to abort this baby. And then, you know, God.
Don't tell who the baby's daddy is.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not. So skipping to later, you know, when he's kind of relieved to know that it's his daughter, like not relieved, but, you know, it's not his wife. He doesn't have to stick with her. He's basically like, hey, I'm in love with someone else.
Goes in the room, though, friends. Goes in the room after this all has happened. Everybody's falling apart. We're all sad about this. He does not mention that he went down to the clinic and saw someone who the girl is pregnant by and all these other things. Goes into the room and then just like, hey, Helen, can I talk to you for a minute? Sure, what's going on? Bam, shablam.
And she gets mad, of course, and is like, get the hell out. So she starts packing up his stuff.
But then he's like, do you want me to give you some space? Those questions
are weird.
They were the stupidest questions I've ever heard in my life. Who asked that series of questions after you just told someone you want to leave, you're not in love with them, and you're like, well, I'm not. Then he says, well, I don't want to leave right now, though. Yeah. I just want to, I'm just so we can start planning for this. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, she's going to be like, oh, sure. Okay, well, just go down to the sofa. Nah, bruh. She's going to start throwing you out. And she does. Rightfully so. And what does she find?
She finds the bra because for some reason, again, people have affairs so poorly. For some reason, when he finds this bra of Allison's that she did not take with her, so she's walking around braless in the winter in New York, but whatever. And she doesn't notice that she didn't have her bra on anyway. he has buried the bra in the bottom of his drawer.
Well, because though the family comes home early.
The family comes home a little early.
Guess what he could have done? Put the bra on himself. He could have put the bra on himself and then decided how to dispose of it, or put it in his back pocket.
His back pocket, which we know fits a lot of things.
He could have put the bra on though. That would
put it hilarious. In the trash and take the trash out.
That would have been dangerous.
But no, like if you put it in, not that moment, but like someone has to pee at some point. You stick it in the trash. You take the trash out. Like, you take it out. You don't leave it in the kitchen like a pregnancy test.
Right.
You, like, take the trash out of the house. But anyway, he decided to keep this bra in the bottom of his drawer. So his wife is like, and I fast forwarded through this scene. I was like, it's going to get uncomfortable. She's going to ask some questions. So I fast forward, and I know she's asking, did this woman come into our house? Blah, blah, blah. And I love it because he gets kicked out on his ass, and he gets on the train, and he's like, hey, I left my wife. And it's like, no, you got kicked out.
On the phone, though.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say if he's talking to her or not. We don't know this.
This is all I know. No, he does talk to her. He says, I'm on the train to Montauk.
You don't know if he's on the voicemail, though.
You know what? That's true.
You don't know if he's talking to the voicemail.
Yeah. I don't know if he's talking to her or the voicemail, but He called her.
He called her, right.
That's what we know.
We do know that.
And I feel like, that's it. That's kind of where,
That's where it's going to get good, because we have one more episode.
We have one more episode. I love this show so much.
There you go, everyone. That was a lot of time, but you need to watch it.
That was like our whole show about the affair. Too much detail.
No, it was not. It was just the right amount. Just so you can see what kind of titillating material you have to look forward to.
I love it.
That was the affair. I watched 90 Day Fiancé.
Now we get on to Brian's part of the show.
Hey, Brian. I watch TLC. So, everyone, I'm trying to increase my TLC roster of television shows.
Why would you do that?
Because TLC is the best. I'm not watching VH1. I'm not going to support that trash. Sorority sisters. Everyone's talking about that. We talked about that at length at the Dr. Abrasive show last night. Everyone's upset about this show. And everybody's upset about how VH1 continues to show these horrible images of women. And so I'm not going to watch VH1 reality shows. Not going to do it. Love and Hip Hop or Love and Hollywood and all the other kind of jazz. No thanks. I'm not watching MTV, quote unquote, reality shows, because those don't even... I mean, when VH1, MTV is supposed to be about the music, and you're not showing any good music shows anymore. So I'm not watching those networks. So the only thing I have to watch any sort of reality programming is Bravo. And I don't like the Housewife franchise shows, right? I'm not really into the New York and all that other kind of jazz. I watched the Atlanta one only because I've been watching that one for a while, and I think that one's even a little bit of a mockery. So TLC is all I have. Okay? So I got to add something to the TLC roster. So I tried to watch My Five Wives the other day. So boring. It's a story about a polygamist. His name's Brady. He has 5 wives, as you can imagine from the show title. And it's so boring. They live like in Utah. They have this like big duplex complex where all the kids live. He does something in construction. The episode I watched, one of the wives is pregnant. She's having a lot of morning sickness and all. It was the most boring. And all of them getting, we really like each other a lot. We're doing a film festival. I don't know how it's still on. It was so boring. So I'm not watching that one anymore. Then, of course, I watched 90 Day Fiancé. We have another episode coming on. Very brief synopsis of the show. My favorite couple, Danny. Uh-oh, I just lost her name. Oh, God. Danny got married. What's her name? Is it Sarah or something? Why do I always forget that girl's name? Danny gets married, okay, to the girl that I like the ton, the South African girl. They get married. Danny and Amy. Thanks. Here it came to me. Danny and Amy get married. So this is the one that the family was a little bit strange. At the wedding, here's the thing that was really weird. At the wedding, so he's a virgin, she's a virgin. They were like, we have a sex torch. This is a speech the brothers gave. We have a sex torch. And it was one of those little tiki torches. We have a sex torch, and the older brother passed it to the younger brother, and then the younger brother passed it to Danny. And they're like, now the sex torch is at Danny. And this is the speech they gave at the wedding. And I was like, you guys are really creeps. So the father, though, the cutest moment, the father, who is the one who does not agree with a relationship and has a little bit of bigotry in his heart, he goes over to Amy and says, welcome to the family. You know, you're a really great girl. He hugs her and gives her a kiss on the cheek. Oh, everybody's happy. Mm-hmm. Muhammad and Danielle, ready? This is the Tunisian guy, and the woman who is 40 some odd years old has the kids, and seems like she's on the special bus. They get married. Mm-hmm. This is the one that went to go see
You said special bus.
Special bus. You know what I'm talking about for our special friends.
Of course I know what you're talking about.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't think it's offensive. It's a bus. Sorry if you're offended by that. Okay. So they get married. He goes to the attorney, right, before the wedding to see if everything's going to be copacetic. He gets married to this woman. And at the ceremony, watch this kicker. At the ceremony, they're like, you can kiss the bride. And this is what he says. Excuse me. It's Ramadan right now. Because it's Ramadan, I can't kiss anyone in public. So then everybody's like, serious, bruh? So then she's like, well, can you at least kiss on the cheek? And so they kiss on the cheek, and that's the thing. And everybody's like, this marriage is not going to be going well. Scenes from the next episode show us that Muhammad goes AWOL. Then you see stories about Cassie and Jason. That's a young woman from Brazil or something. I think so. Yeah, Brazil or something. They're having troubles in paradise in Vegas. We don't hear anything from the Milovox couple. That's Chelsea and Yachmir. And then we don't see anything from Justin and what's her name? Evelyn. And then Daya and Brett. Brett's the one who lives with the women, the golden girl kind of thing. His mother is basically saying, like, I don't believe this at all. I don't think she loves you. And Daya hears all this in the other room and starts crying hysterically. So they're on the fritz as well. So 90 Day Fiancé is getting really good. I think this next episode is going to send me over the edge. I didn't get a chance to live tweet, so I missed some of my friends there, but I'll be back next week. Don't you worry your pretty little faces. Also, I'm going to probably start watching, because Extreme Cheapskates is not on TLC. 19 Kids Accounting is also on hiatus right now, those two shows. So there's a new show that came out called Risking It All. These are families that go out into the wilderness and they abandon their suburban lives. They give away all their phones and all these other fine things, and they're living off the land. I'm going to give that show a shot. I'll report back at a later date. But that's TLC. I don't watch Little Couple either, so I'm trying to find some more TLC shows.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, because I watch Little Women of Beverly Hills or LA or whatever the show's called.
LA.
Yeah. But yeah, The Little Couple, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me, so I kind of stopped watching that. And that's about it. And I don't watch Extreme Couponing, which some people are like, why don't you watch that? I think it's weird. I don't want to see you clip coupons and then go in and get like
everything for free.
Free thing. Yeah.
Get a refund, basically.
Here's my stockpile and all that with all the deodorant and everything. I don't find that useful. Like, why do you need 3,000 things of deodorant and powder and like bonbons and Hostess cakes and things like that? I think that's ridiculous. So no, I don't want to watch that show either. So if you have any other recommendations for me on reality trash type TV shows that aren't necessarily VH1 or MTV inspired, then let me know and I'll watch. That's all I have for you for that. That's all I have for you there from a TV perspective.
So what do you think about this whole Sony email leak? They sure do talk about a lot of things at Sony.
My God,
like,
they do.
They are having a whole lot of troubles. And then some of my friends who are actors, like just like people I know, they're now hearing that their information might be affected by this leak, this hack, whatever it is. Because I'm sure there's all this personal information of people who like work at Sony or have done projects with them or whatever. So now they're all contacting their lawyers and things like that. So this is touching a lot of people. But I was reading this thing on BuzzFeed that had like pieces of some of the emails, and I was enjoying myself. And then I got just because they were just so like killing themselves with these emails. But then I got down to the comments and someone was like, this isn't any different than the nudie picture scandal. You guys shouldn't be reading this stuff. And I'm like, that's probably true, but it's kind of too late.
Yeah.
Already read it. So of course the clickbait is Angelina Jolie, even though a million other people are talked about in these emails. Mm-hmm. And for me, you know what the best part was, Brandy.
Mm-hmm. You have to tell them.
So this guy, I forget which guy it was, and it doesn't really matter, but some guy at Sony, they're talking about casting Michael Fassbender in like the Steve Jobs movie or like some role that he probably shouldn't have anyway.
Right. And they wanted Brad Pitt instead. I mean, not Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio. And they're just like, they're like, that guy makes you just feel bad for having normal sized genitalia.
They didn't say genitalia.
Yeah, they did.
It said penis.
No, they didn't.
It said penis.
Did they? I wish I still had it. But they said something inappropriate.
It was hilarious.
Like, basically, shame put them to shame.
Exactly.
And they don't want to work with him because they know things about him.
And then there's stuff about the interview. And basically, they shut down the, New York premiere?
They shut it all down. I mean, they're not doing any premieres right now. They canceled the Hollywood Jimmy Fallon and everything else.
They did the Hollywood premiere, and they said
because it's already done.
Yeah, they basically said that, you know, if anybody still wants to do the premieres, they can, but they're basically shutting down all that jazz. I mean, Annie got leaked. What else got leaked? Was it Fury got leaked earlier than it should have gotten leaked?
Fury's already out. You mean Unbroken?
No, Fury got leaked. So it's in the theaters, but they leaked it on the file sharing sites.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Like a good quality, not like a bootleg guy, but a regular good quality.
When I think of leak, I usually think of like in advance. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, they didn't want it to come out. They wanted people to still go to the theaters and try to see it. And but Annie, yeah, that one was a big deal.
But I mean, so many people were talked about in this thing. It just went on and on and on and on.
Yeah. Well,
but
and they like
Michael Fassbender was my favorite.
The thing I think is hilarious is how they're saying, why doesn't the media, can you please not just grip and grapple at the things that are just the most sensational things? Yes, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're the media. What do you expect them to do? Just sit around and say, oh no, we're not going to worry about those things. We're going to focus on something else. Whatever. This isn't necessarily about Sony. I was going to talk about K. Michelle again, but I'm tired of talking about her breaking down about Idris. She broke down again at another interview, and she couldn't continue. So I don't know if this is like the wave she's riding, so she can continue to get this fame around this Anybody Want to Buy a Heart CD, but like she keeps talking about it just to, well, you know, every time she's going on these interviews, she's crying and everything else, but whatever. The story about the young man who basically, the New York Mag deal, the $72 million allegedly trader, like a New York Stock Exchange trader. So this kid made that whole story up.
Did he? I didn't actually read the story.
Yeah, so the story, so I guess
I love it because everybody was so on him like, good job, kid.
Yeah, like, you made $72 million in your spare time. And it's not even true at all.
I love the internet. Maybe that's why everyone stopped talking about it real quick.
Yeah, well, it came out pretty fast. So this woman from, I guess, what reporter was she with? New York Magazine, Jessica Pressler, basically has a story about this guy this young high school senior who in his spare time has made like $72 million in the stock market. And then come to find out he didn't make any money. And it was, so he has this like stock market club, I guess, some finance club at school. And the money that he has made was all simulated. But it wasn't even $72 million worth either. But it's a simulation. And then his friend that he invited with him. So this other guy that's involved is just a buddy of his. And he said, well, he just invited him to come and be a part of the interview because the woman was so excited about the fact that they have been trading. And so he just kind of went on and on and on with it and couldn't stop the story. And he was supposed to be on CNBC and all these other things. And of course, they had to pull out of all that. And they hired a PR firm basically to help them with this damage control. And it's just bad news. And his kids, like his parents, are so ashamed. And his dad won't talk to him. He's been having to stay at a friend's house. And, you know, he's just basically lied about all this. And they can't believe that it happened. Isn't that terrible?
That's terrible. Well, guess I don't need to read that story about him making all that money then. Because
it did not happen.
Let me tell you, Facebook saving links is like the worst thing that ever happened to me because now I have bookmarks, Evernote, and like a million links to look at from Facebook. Well, so I can just skip that one.
Yeah, you can delete that one. And I mean, it's just, I feel so bad for this I don't necessarily feel bad for this little kid because he should have never lied like this. But I mean, the woman, they basically were saying like, why didn't anybody fact check this? Because if you did some simple calculations, it would mean that he'd have to beat out the S&P 500 by like 724% each year to be able to amass that much money. And it's just not even from a calculation standpoint possible. Like mathematically, it's not even possible. So it's like it's just this whole thing with like social media and media in general, just hopping on all these stories and everybody wants to be the next hot thing. And then now it's like nobody fact checked and this story goes all over the place. Everybody's reporting it. And now this kid's all looking crazy and sad. Anyway, the seventh heaven father, I don't know his real name, Stephen something, Collins maybe. Yeah. He admitted to the contact with those 3 girls. That's the latest. He confessed to the inappropriate contact. So the tape, of course, right? They had the tape that leaked, but then he actually has admitted to it.
Great.
I know. The Voice, they crowned another winner.
Who was it?
the country guy.
Interesting.
So they said another country guy won. I guess that was really a big thing. I was like,
But now,
okay.
here's the thing with The Voice. I have not been watching since they decided who the final people were going to be on their teams.
Mm-hmm.
I keep DVRing it, but I keep deleting it because it's so long and I need to make room for other stuff.
It's super long.
Now, does The Voice switch at some point to people voting versus the judges? Okay, so basically the people voted in this country singer.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense to me because there was this video that went out the other week of him singing a song, like some song about the cross. And then supposedly it made Gwen Stefani cry and stuff like that. And I'm like, people love that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched that performance and it was good, but it wasn't like, hey, you just won kind of performance to me. But if people are voting, I could totally see them voting for him.
Yeah, well, and it was all guys too, right? So
Interesting.
There was some girls that I thought were pretty good because they brought some of them back. You know, they usually do that. They bring people back so they can sing with whoever with the finalist folks, I guess. They can sing with these 4 different finalists during their performances. And so they brought people back. And some of the girls I thought were really good because they brought some back during this guy's Craig Wayne Boyd. They brought him back during his performance. And I was like, this girl should have won. But whatever. But yeah, I mean, they get good exposure. But the thing about The Voice is, has anybody from The Voice ever gone on to do anything really major?
You know what? I'm not sure, but here's also the thing. The Voice came out in an already crowded marketplace because at this point, has anyone from X Factor or American Idol, that's come out since The Voice has come out, have they done anything either? I feel like it's just these shows are such factories now. And the difference is, I love that The Voice is about The Voice to begin with. We don't know what you look like. We don't know anything. And we're choosing you based on the talent and what we hear and all that. So I love the premise that it's built on. But at this point, it's just such a factory of they do this twice a year. American Idol does it once or twice a year.
Right.
You know, all these shows.
America's Got Talent.
I don't think any of them in the last couple of years have gone on to do, I feel like, and I could be wrong, I could be dead wrong, but I feel like we're past the Carrie Underwood, Kelly Clarkson,
Fantasia, Ruben Studdard, Jennifer Hudson.
I feel like we're past those days where you've got yourself a deal and you're putting out an album and you're building a fan base outside of this TV show. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's kind of dead.
Yeah.
But
Jennifer Hudson has done a good job of propelling herself further, right?
Yeah.
And really working hard to do some things there.
Yeah. And then she also did the acting and she was good at it, better than Beyonce. And
that was Leia, by the way.
The agency's on vacation.
They're never on vacation.
They're busy watching 7-Eleven.
They are never off.
I was so upset when I was texting you about 7-Eleven.
They are never off.
I watched that 7-Eleven video and I just love how dumb people are. I mean, they're like, come on, you guys, lay off Beyonce. She's just like us. And she just threw this video together. I mean, if you're in a hotel room with your friends, you just want to have fun. How stupid are you? Everything Beyonce does is super crafted. And just because it looks amateur doesn't mean that it is. Okay, how many sweaters does she travel with realistically? How many sweaters and sweatshirts and different pairs of socks and cheetah underwear does she travel with? Just because that's life. Not that much, I'm sure. And if you just pay attention and you see how much editing that took, she did not throw that together.
No, it wasn't thrown together at all. She didn't just hit the fast forward button on the speed up. What is it? The 2x speed up button on her iPhone and start editing an iMovie.
Yeah.
It's professionally done, friends.
I mean, come on. And then there's the scenes with the other people. They practice these moves. Even if these are moves from some show that she's about to do, they still rehearse this. They've got their cups. They've got... Right. This is very intentional. So if you're out there, I hate to call you an idiot, but you're an idiot if you thought that she threw this together on a Saturday morning for fun because she thought that was the thing to do. I'm sorry, no. This took as much planning as anything else. It might have been cheaper to produce because you can get those underwear 3 for $10 at Target. But I'm sure hers are still $150 a pair. And then that's the other thing. They're in one scene where they're all throwing their asses in your face. They're all wearing the same damn underwear. Mm-hmm. But no, we didn't plan that. Come on. That just upset me. Anyway, I'm done.
Thank
and
you.
I'm not even mad at Beyonce. I'm not even mad at Beyonce.
You're mad at the people. You're mad at the people.
She's just doing what she always does.
She's doing her business.
Yeah. I mean, I hate the song. It's stupid, but it's like she's doing what she does.
That's a good, though. That song is a great pre-gaming song. You have your friends over. You're like, come on, guys. It's time to get started. It's Friday night. Let's make some fun happen. And that song comes on. You're like, yeah, throw your hands in the air. You don't need it to make sense when you're pre-gaming with friends.
Yeah, if you're a person who pre-games, which of this pair, you know who that would be.
Yeah.
If you're a person who pre-games, I can totally see that being a good song.
Throw on the pill.
Generally speaking, the song speaks nothing to my life, but it's Beyonce doing what she's got to do. This has nothing to do with her for once.
Hold that cup like alcohol, friends.
Oh, God.
What does that even mean? Just like Mary J. Blige, I can go therapy. No offense, Mary J. Blige fans, but still, I can go therapy. What happened? What happened to the two? Never mind.
I know. Like criticizing the song is a whole different thing. Right now, I'm just saying, you are stupid. You are stupid.
If you thought the video was made with her iPhone 5.
Just for fun.
Just for shit.
And she didn't know Blue was in the bed. Please.
That's why she didn't jump on her head.
Oh, God.
You could have jumped on her head if she didn't know she was in the bed.
I'm heated, but I'm done.
Uh-oh, don't be heated.
I'm done. I'm done now. Mm-hmm. That's it for me for the week.
Okay. Thank you, friends, for listening.
Mm-hmm.
Catch us on all those social media channels, 18 to 49 podcast everywhere.
Except for Facebook, where we're just 18 to 49.
Yeah, 18 to 49.
But Brandy wouldn't know that because she doesn't know that we have a Facebook.
I just learned that we have a Facebook page. Only when I post about Idris do I remember that we have a page.
And next week, our top moments in TV and pop culture.
Yeah, if you want to submit some, shoot us an email or a tweet or a Facebook message thing, whatever they do on there.
Yeah, tell us your favorite moments.
Because we'll talk about them. We have ours, but
tell us yours. What are your favorite moments from TV and pop culture?
Oh, and we're going to videotape it too.
Yes.
Boom.
So you get to see us again. So tweet us, Facebook comment, email, carrier pigeon, singing telegram. Tell us what your favorite moments are.
And we might talk about them on the show.
Yep. And if you still want to review us, you can review us and we'll read that on the show too. Just like the old days. Oh, the old days.
We stopped doing that.
We stopped doing it.
We do double check.
Yep.
Get back to it. All right, friends. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time.
Bye.